We live in one of the most beautiful parts of the world, surrounded by both reef and lush rainforest. It's a privilege to live here amongst such natural beauty, but it also means we have a responsibility to look after it. Here at Douglas Shire Council, we strive towards that by maintaining and running our wastewater system to a high standard. In this video, we're going to explore the journey that wastewater takes when it flows down your drain, such as when you flush the toilet or have a shower. You'll see the whole process, meet the unsung heroes along the way, and also see what things you can do to ensure our system remains healthy and sustainable. It all begins here in the home. Whenever wastewater goes down a drain or when a toilet flushes, it goes down a series of pipes and ends up at one of our 2 wastewater treatment plants. One in Mossman, which is a secondary treatment plant, and one in Port Douglas, that is a tertiary treatment plant. In this video, we're going to be looking at the Port Douglas Wastewater Treatment Plant to find out what happens to the wastewater when it goes down the drain.
Today we are Port Douglas Wastewater Treatment Plant, the biggest wastewater treatment plant we have in the Shire.
We have certain licence requirements we have to meet, so it is quite heavily treated, and the final result is a environmentally sound B-class recycled water.
Raw sewage flows into the facility through this pipe and enters the inlet works. Here, the liquids and solids are screened for items that don't break down naturally and those that should not be deposited into the system in the first place. Items like rubbish, wet wipes, sanitary items, cotton tips, earbuds, toys, etc. are removed from the raw sewage via a step screen and deposited in bins. Sand and grit is then removed from the raw sewage in a vortex grit trap and grit classifier before being pumped to the sequencing batch reactor for treatment. A regulated waste collection agency collects the screened waste and disposes of it appropriately elsewhere.
We're at the odour control unit. The main purpose of the odour control unit is to remove the rotten egg gas, and we don't want it as a nuisance into the public.
Once the wastewater has been filtered through the inlet works, it is pumped into the sequencing batch reactor, or SBR. The SBR consists of 2 basins that alternate with the receival of sewage to be treated. Each basin operates through a 240-minute cycle in total. Sewage inflows for 120 minutes and is aerated on and off. Aeration reduces the amount of organic matter and harmful microorganisms present in the wastewater or sludge and increases the level of dissolved oxygen that aids the bioprocesses, maintaining a balanced environment for the microorganisms to thrive in and perform. After aeration is completed, the valve to the raw sewage shuts off and the liquid is left to settle for 55 minutes. Most solids settle at the bottom and are referred to as a sludge blanket. A decanter slowly skims this liquid, which we now call liquor, off the top and pumps it to the equalization basin for the next phase of treatment. The decant process takes 65 minutes. Now, not all solids settle to the bottom after aeration. Some solids remain suspended in the liquid as they are not heavy enough to be pushed down to the bottom by gravity. We call these types of solids colloids. In order to get these colloids to sink to the bottom of the basin, we add alum to the liquid in the vicinity of the decant well. The alum causes the colloids to become attracted to each other, and as they stick together, called flocculation, they become heavier and drop to the bottom to form part of the sludge blanket. Now that the liquor has been decanted from the SBR, what happens to all those solids in the sludge blanket? The aerated sewage containing aerobic bacteria and microorganisms, those that require oxygen, is known as activated sludge. Some of this activated sludge is pumped back to the start of the SBR to be remixed with the fresh raw sewage to continue the biological breakdown process. We call this return activated sludge, or RAS. Excess activated sludge in the SBR basin needs to be removed to maintain a balance in the delicate breakdown process. This sludge is called waste activated sludge, or WAS. Microorganism population levels in this area can indicate the health condition of the wastewater system and are closely monitored and managed to retain the right balance. All of the plant processes are carefully monitored by the team to ensure the wastewater process is working as it should be. Let's return to the liquor after it's been decanted from the SBR basin. Once decanted, this liquor travels to the equalization basin, where the liquor is held to allow any colloids still present to settle as sludge at the bottom. Sludge in here is pumped back to the SBR to be reprocessed. The liquor in the equalisation basin is pumped to the tertiary filters, which are full of sand that further filters the liquid. Once filtered through the sand, the liquor then passes through a UV disinfection system to kill any bad microorganisms that may still be present. The treated effluent is now clean enough to discharge into the adjoining waterway. A large portion of the treated effluent is then reused on site for cleaning or supplied to local golf courses that use it for irrigation. So, what happens to the waste-activated sludge? All the excess waste sludge that is removed from the SBR is pumped to the Gravity Drainage Deck, or GDD. Here, the sludge is fed onto a belt which thickens the sludge before going into a hopper where it drains into the aerobic digesters which break the waste down further, removing nutrients present in the sludge. This digestion process, in simple terms, is composting, but on a much larger scale.
After this, we send it to the dewatering process. We have a belt filter press here at Port Douglas Wastewater Treatment Plant. It goes through its stage of flocculation and then dewatering. The dewatered sludge is taken away by contractors, which is used for 100% beneficial reuse as a fertiliser to farms.
That's a brief overview of what our wastewater team does to keep our community functioning and to eliminate environmental impacts. But there are some things you can do to help them out too. There's only 3 things that should go down the toilet, and that's pee, poo, and toilet paper. Anything else that goes down the drain can block up our sewage system or kill the good bacteria needed to break down the waste and potentially lead to catastrophic situations and expensive repairs. Other nasties like fats, oils, and chemicals should never be put down the drain. Fats solidify once cool and can disrupt your plumbing and the main sewer system by blocking the pipe and potentially damaging it. When chemicals are put down the pipe, they have the potential to kill the bacteria that we rely on to treat the effluent, which is something we really don't want to happen.
Just to be vigilant of what they put down their toilets, because it can also damage not only the council infrastructure, it's also very damaging to their own. It's going to hurt their pocket in the end.
It's up to all of us to be smart with our wastewater and protect our infrastructure. Let's all do our bit to look after this special part of the world that we are lucky to call home.